He likes to go for lunches and sip his wine and tell you about where he bought his condo and how the Pan Am games are coming in. And all right, let's bring him on. He is one half of Macko and Cauz. I'll let you guess which one. It airs 9 a.m. until noon every weekday on TSN 1050. I believe he's still writing for CFL.ca as well. I never check these things. And you can follow him on twitter.com/mcauz, Cauz 56. It is Matt Cauz. How you doing?
Don't pull back the curtain when we go on our lunch dates together there, Ross. Don't tell people what goes on. I'm not going to sit here and talk about all the highfalutin things you talk about. So let's keep this to ourselves. But you're at least right on the wine one. I mean, who can have lunch without at least 2 glasses of wine? That's barbaric.
Don't pull back the curtain. That was a good line. That was very good.
Yeah.
That was excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate that one. No, so are you at the cottage today? What's happened?
No. You have to remember there's been a lot of flooding up in the Bracebridge and Huntsville area here in Ontario. So there's a lot of rich white people very afraid about their empty cottages, including myself. No. It'll be a couple more weeks. And I mean, in all seriousness, I think the good people in that area are doing a great job. There's a state of emergency there, and everyone's pulling together. So
it's good that you're making jokes there, Matt. It's good.
You know what?
Stuff.
That's how I cope. You know that, and I know that. You know, anyone gets upset, well, you know what, they can, I don't really care if people get that upset because, it's like people that get too upset about Don Cherry or things like that. We all need to find something to have moral indignation for, and then 24 hours later we find something new to be upset about.
Chatting with Matt Cauz from TSN 1050 here on the program as we talk a little Toronto-centric stuff. Now, rumors, Matt, we'll get to hockey, we'll get to baseball in a minute. Rumors about the relationship between the new MLSE guy and Phil Jackson. Are you excited about that, maybe?
Never going to happen. That is fool's gold. Listen, it was a great little storyline, but there's no way Phil Jackson's going to come here. Phil Jackson only goes to a place that has multiple Hall of Famers, preferably top 20 of all time players on the team. He's not a rebuild guy. He's like a Mariano Rivera. He comes in and he closes. I mean, that's what he did in Chicago when Michael Jordan was already there for a bunch of years. That's what he did with the Lakers when Shaq and Kobe were there. He's not going to come up here. It was a nice little storyline, but I mean, with Lewicki or Lenicki, I can't pronounce anyone's name.
You're the Toronto guy. You should know this.
I know I'm the Toronto guy, but I can't pronounce anyone's name. I don't discriminate. No matter what town you're from, I'll screw it up. The best thing it's for, though, it will be with the Raptors, because hopefully what he can do with his basketball connections is, try to bring more relevancy to this team. Maybe bring in a better general manager. Maybe some way try to help get free agents to come to Toronto. So I think it's the best for the Argonauts, for the Raptors. For the Maple Leafs, not that much. And if anyone thinks this is going to help bring Toronto an NFL team, well, again, that's a crazy pipe dream.
All right, elsewhere, Blue Jays lose again today. Now 9-17 on the year. Are people panicking, or is it nice and early still?
Okay, well, see, I always fight this urge because us in the media, we always tell the fans, we're always like, oh, you're not allowed to panic. It's way too early for that. And I got to tell you, Matt, I don't like that. I don't like that the media is always telling fans how they should emotionally process their team. So
you're a guy who likes to run into the street screaming in mid-April or so.
Yes, absolutely. But no, I'm the guy that doesn't discourage it. If you want to panic, fine, but at least have some trace of logic to it. And I don't like it when we're told, oh, no, it's too early. It's too early. Right now, I guess it's too early to panic, but if you would like to have not one, but 2 eyebrows raised in concern about this team, you should. No one's hitting. All they're doing is hitting solo home runs. That's it. That's the only positive of this team. That and Brett Cecil. No one's pitching. The bullpen is taxed. No one's hitting with men in scoring position. This has been a lousy start of the season.
Am I reading this wrong? I just pulled up the box score from today's game against the Yankees. 3-2 was a good game. Brett Laurie was hitting leadoff?
Your laughter in the background.
That's Mo Khan, yeah.
Yeah, well, the injury to Jose Reyes and Bonifacio's weight, his confidence is slipping, and there's a lot of juggling going on with this lineup right now. I mean, they've got a better record than the Expos, but not many other teams do they.
Wow.
I went there. And listen, I can't because I'm bitter. I'm bitter because I went in with so much confidence in the Blue Jays, and they stink. It's a bummer right now. I'm not going to.
Same amount of playoff wins, by the way, since 2004. Just letting you know that.
But anyway, that's mathematically correct.
Yes. Chatting with. Are you thinking that John Gibbons is part of the problem here? Are you pro John Gibbons? Are you?
I wish John Gibbons was part of the problem, because if he was part of the problem, then everyone else would have been doing their jobs, and Gibbons has somehow been screwing it up. But let's face it, R.A. Dickey, some nights good, some nights he's getting beaten around. Then you see Brandon Morrow getting beat up, Josh Johnson getting beat up. Beyond that, you have injuries all over the place. You have guys who are absolutely choking with men in scoring position. Adam Lind is continuing his war on RBI. He's anti-RBI since the beginning of the season. You can't blame this on the manager. Anyone who blames it on the manager is foolish. I wish it was. That would mean our problems weren't as bad as they are right now.
All right, elsewhere, how about the Leafs here? Obviously, a fifth seed. They're locked in there. They'll play either Montreal or Boston. From a Leafs perspective, did last night's game mean anything? And the second part of that is, as a Leaf fan, would you rather they play one or the other?
Well, I'll address the second question first and the first question second, only to confuse you. I think it still is Montreal. I think the center in Toronto is that the Leafs still match up better against Montreal. But I'll say this. It's not like Boston's played well. They're 2-6 in their last 8. Toronto had a very good chance of tying that series in their last matchup, where it ended up in a shootout. As for the game last night, there should be some cause for concern because, let's face it, the Leafs have played horribly in the last 10 games. When they beat Ottawa or New Jersey, it's because Reimer stood on his head, but the team is still getting outplayed. But on the flip side, Montreal hasn't exactly been a world beater lately. It's funny, those teams and the Bruins, all three of them are stumbling to the finish line right here. I mean, it was a tough loss because you would have guaranteed, you would have guaranteed taking on, I think it would have been guaranteed taking on Montreal, but I get confused by the whole playoff standings. I'm just waiting for the end of the Boston-Ottawa game. But Toronto here still, they want to face Montreal.
Yeah, all right. And then, obviously, moving forward here, what kind of shot you give them against Boston if that happens?
I give them, if I want to do percentage, I give them a 40% chance. I think they at least have a 40% chance of beating Boston because we've seen how many times when Toronto's played really poorly, they've managed to bounce back every time with Carlisle. So hopefully that can continue again. So I give them I give them about a 40% chance against Boston and 50-50 against Montreal. And a lot of that's just because one of the things Montreal does really well is they're a fairly good team on the power play. Well, Toronto's one of the best in terms of penalty kill, and it's not like Carey Price has this unbelievable record in the postseason. So I think it's about 50-50. And I am saying that with my best trying not to be biased. I'm sure a lot of your Montreal listeners right now are angry at me and yelling about how Gallagher is going to dominate Toronto.
That sounds like it's a bitter excuse from a Toronto media personality, Matt. But the question I have for you, though, is that it is almost Argos season. Are you gung-ho for that since the Blue Jays are now done? And will I see you...
Oh, my God, yes. Trust me, Mo, and I saw that question coming a mile away. Of course I am right now. If you think about it, first off, Ricky Ray needs to go play for the Blue Jays, the Raptors, and maybe the Maple Leafs as a third-line center. I'll tell you right now, think about how weak the East is. Anthony Calvillo's ancient. Let's see how the new coaching staff does there. Winnipeg is horrible. Hamilton is going to still have a lot of problems on defense. Toronto's the class of the East right now, and I'm sure I'm jinxing the entire team, but I can't wait for the Argos to come back. I can't wait for the start of the season because Ricky Ray should be better than he was last year. The coaching staff is there's no turmoil as there was early last year. You're damn right I'm excited for the Argonaut season considering what's going on with the Blue Jays.
Macko and Cauz is the name of the program.
Yeah.
9 until noon every weekday here on TSN. 10:50.
9 to noon. Macko and Cauz. Bob Macko, it's Matt Cauz, bringing you the latest in opinions and insight in the world of sports. How's that for a promo?
And you're still mcause56 on Twitter. What?
mcause56, because stupid, the real Matt, or whatever you are, Matthew on TSN, or whatever your dumb Twitter handle is, that you're right now.
It's so dumb you want it. It's TSN Matthew.
I'm bitter, and you're squatting. You're squatting on my Twitter account there.
All right, that's enough from you. Thanks, Matt.
Take care. Have a great rest of the night.